Come with me, Anna.
Wait. Anna? Why were you here tonight? Do you normally attend dinner parties?
Kathy wanted me to come.
Where are your parents?
They died.
When?
A long time ago.
A few years ago, right before Laura skipped town?
Yes.
How do you know Laura?
She's Kathy's friend and Lisa's, but they fight a lot.
Anna? What were your parents' names?
Jeff and Myrna.
Bailey?
That's right.
Hank, weren't they the ones Laura was accused of?
Yeah. Anna, did Kathy tell you to bring something with you tonight? Something that might have belonged to your parents?
Yes, I brought my mother's jewelry box. She asked for it, but I don't know why. There's nothing in it.
Where is it now?
There, on the hall table.
This? It's empty.
I told you, Mama didn't have any gems. She bought it at a flea market. Said it made her look rich, even though she couldn't have diamonds.
Looks like it used to lock.
It did, but the lock broke.
What would Kathy want with the cheap empty old box that doesn't even lock?
But it used to, Angel.
Well, what's it matter?
You two get going. Anna, tell the police everything you told me.
Aunt Kathy says never talk to the police. They'll try to take me away.
Anna, I won't let the police take you away from anyone, but you have to be brave.
You two better ankle.
Hank, do you suppose Laura is really in on it?
Oh, she's in it up to her neck. Go, Angel, and don't look back. I need to have a word with Eddie Mars.
Mr. Quinlan, please, some news?
What happened? We heard a gunshot. How dare you lock us up in this room?
You haven't been locked up, Eddie. The door's been open. It's been open all night, and you know it. The woman upstairs is certainly dead, along with 2 other people. Triple homicide tonight by someone in this room.
You're all wet, Quinlan.
Sure, it's a lot of applesauce.
And you can all cut the act. There's not an innocent person left in this house that isn't headed to the morgue.
These are very serious accusations, Mr. Quinlan. I trust you have sufficient evidence.
You might recall evidence isn't my strong suit. But let's reason it out, shall we?
No, I don't think we ought to.
Why don't you close that window, Laura?
Oh, that's why it's so cold in here.
A woman screamed just before I showed up tonight.
Yes, it was Effie. She just found Margot sleeping.
No, it wasn't Effie. Effie screamed moments later, and once she started, she didn't stop. She ran down those stairs and fell into the arms of nearly all of us. Only one person was missing. Lisa.
She was in the drawing room.
But why?
We've been over this.
Because the window to Margot's room sits directly above us. She could have easily left the room, climbed down the veranda, and looked as though she were coming from the drawing room to see what the commotion was. It's unlucky for you. Anna noticed and ran about you.
Impossible.
That scream wasn't Effie. It was Margot. Just before Mark died, he handed me this vial. Said it was poison, but it was still half full. Half a vial wouldn't do the job right, so why poison it all? Margot didn't die from poisoning. She was strangled.
Then why the poison?
It was the original plan. Lisa tried to get Margot to drink it all. But Margot was no dumb Dora. She knew what it was, and she fought back. Then Lisa heard someone coming. She hadn't planned on being interrupted. She panicked and killed Margot as quickly as she could. Then she escaped out the window as Effie opened the door. That's why the window was still open by the time I got upstairs.
You said there were no signs of a struggle. Surely had Margot fought so fierce?
We'll get to that, Angel. Sit tight. Lisa was afraid Effie could blow her cover.
Baloney. I helped revive her. Would a murderer who was afraid of what Effie could say offer her smelling salts?
That's what I thought at first. But I knew those salts smelled funny. And that strange odor on your hand. I finally recognized chloroform. You weren't trying to wake her. You were trying to shut her up.
Lisa! I am appalled. Arrest her immediately, Mr. Quinlan, and let the rest of us go. We're innocent people.
Not remotely. With our attention on Effie and a clear understanding something had gone wrong, Velma went upstairs to clean up the mess Lisa had made.
I didn't touch anything.
You failed to latch the door, and you left traces of powder on the knob. Very clumsy. You had powder smeared all over your hands, but Margot didn't wear powder. You had it when Effie came running down the stairs. It's what made her sneeze. And you used it to cover Margot's wounds. You hoped we would rule it accidental death, bury her quietly, and since the phone lines had been cut, nobody could call the police.
It's a cold night, Mr. Quinlan. The lines may have snapped. Kathy told you the lines weren't working.
They weren't once she cut them, but I had time to make one call. And so did one of your guests. Somebody called me right before Margot died.
Someone called you.
Margot herself.
A very entertaining idyll, Mr. Quinlan. But you have implicated only two people, Lisa and Velma, neither of which had a motive for murder.
Which brings me to you.
Me? Oh, this is very entertaining indeed. Kathy, dear, you throw the most diverting parties.
That's right. I couldn't make the connection until Anna told me her parents' names. 2 years ago, you sent Laura to hire me to find a little parcel. It ended up in the hands of Jeff and Myrna Bailey, who were killed. Then you framed Laura for their murder.
Oh, I didn't frame Laura. Those photographs would have put her away for good. But what good was that when she was the only one alive who knew where the parcel was?
So you burned the photographs.
I did.
And framed me for it instead.
It was not I who planted that evidence. I assure you, had it been, the thing would have been done completely. But I am glad the work was not mine. I hold you in the utmost regard, Mr. Quinlan. From the start I knew that you were a sagacious and discerning fellow, but with a weakness for which I cannot blame you.
And what's that?
Laura.
As the evening progressed, Effie became more and more vocal about finding Margot on the floor. But when I went upstairs, she was tucked in bed. Effie's testimony would have proved that the scene had been tampered with.
I must insist you stop these accusations, Mr. Quinlan. If I am capable of such monstrosities, what's to keep me from, how do you say it, bumping you off?
You want your parcel, Eddie, and I have it.
Where is it?
It's on its way. If I give you the parcel, you blow town and leave Laura behind. Agreed?
What guarantee can you offer to show that you have it?
My word.
Compelling.
You're going to have to trust me. What's this package worth to you?
Worth? To put a price on it would only prove your ignorance. Imagine the highest number you can count to, and you will not have half its value.
So what's one dame in a gumshoe?
All right, Mr. Quinlan, you have a deal. Bring me the parcel.
Give me a moment to consult with my partner here. Laura?
Partner? Ishkabiddle.
Ladies, please. Of course, Mr. Quinlan, consult. Clever ruse.
Not even my best.
The package is here.
It will be soon. So this is why you came back. Eddie, the parcel?
I never wanted anything to do with it. You know why I came back.
Banana oil. You couldn't keep running from Eddie. I played this out for you once. You counted on me doing it again.
No, why don't you believe me, Hank?
Because everything you say is chewing gum. Give me one straight answer, Angel. What's he got on you? When I give this package to Eddie, he's not going to let us walk out of there, and I need to know what he's got on you.
He has evidence.
Evidence of what?
Jeff Bailey.
So you really bumped the old guy off.
Yes, Hank, yes, I killed him, but I did it for you. Eddie would have killed you. Jeff would have killed you.
So you threw me over.
I can't change what I am, Hank. Neither can you. Don't you see we deserve each other? Once Eddie has the package, we can go far away and leave this all behind us. We can have a new life.
How is Kathy Moffat tied up in this?
Eddie blackmailed her.
With what?
Her husband runs a juice joint.
A speakeasy? Where?
Right here. He runs bootleg out of the cellar to powerful people, including Eddie and his chums. Eddie used to blackmail Kathy. She'll do anything to avoid a scandal.
Sure.
That was the end of Margot right there. Kathy knew she had the parcel and invited her to stay, promising to keep her safe. Margot was careful enough to leave the parcel elsewhere.
But she had a key.
A key?
And she knew Kathy would double-cross her.
I don't understand.
She gave the key to Lisa, who gave it to me.
How do you know?
Vivian was right. We gumshoes ignore anything too obvious, too easy. The one thing everybody's looking for was in my hand. That'll be your package, Eddie.
I'm coming with you.
Oh no, Angel. You stay where you are. I can't have you running off.
Here you go, Hank. It's sure a lot smaller than I expected.
Dynamite comes in small packages.
Something tells me this isn't dynamite.
You're a good man, sister, and a decent sleuth. Now get home, and be quick about it. Here's your parcel, Eddie.
Very satisfactory, Mr. Quinlan. Very satisfactory.
Don't you want to open it? Be sure it's what you're looking for.
Velma, if you would. After 13 years, 5 continents, innumerable countries, at last it's mine. I believe it is best that we part ways now. Miss Moffat, my thanks for a most thrilling evening.
What was it?
Does it matter? You can't print the story.
It was power, that's all.
Isn't that enough?
Mrs. Moffat, if you truly wish to avoid a scandal.
Yes, Mr. Quinlan. Lisa, come with me. Miss Patrick, please.
Laura, what was it?
Kathy's right. It was power. There isn't a country he can't buy with it.